And welcome back to American Agenda. Guess what? We have more breaking news. This just happened during the commercial break. All of our phones here just went off with alerts because New York City has just issued an emergency alert urging all houses to limit energy after the city is being hit with stifling heat. We've been covering this the past couple of days from out on the West Coast, California, but now on the East Coast and New York specifically being told to conserve energy if you can, limit unnecessary use of air conditioning because it is hot. It's really hot outside. Turning now to the other story that we've been following live from the border, former President Trump visiting the border today, McAllen, Texas specifically, as promised at the invitation of Texas Governor Greg Abbott. We saw him there as well, to see for himself the crisis. Now, some say that today's visit sparked Vice President Kamala Harris's visit to the border last week. And this morning in an op-ed for the Washington Times, the former president wrote in part, "I built a wall. Biden built a humanitarian crisis." So what can we expect after this border tour from the former president and Governor Abbott? Let's bring back in our panel to talk more about this. Derek, I'll start with you on it. One of the things that we did hear that came out of the couple of press briefings that happened today is Governor Abbott saying, you know what, if the federal government isn't going to complete the wall and construct the wall, the state of Texas will finish building the wall, at least there in their area.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea. If we can't rely on federal funds, let's do it with the state. Because he's on the ground, he understands what's happening in his state. And people fail to realize here in Washington, you know, he's there. And so I have cousins who have lived in El Paso their entire lives. And they said they've never seen anything like this right now in terms of people coming across the border. And one of my cousins admitted, she said, you know, Derek, my biggest concern right now is for Fort Bliss in terms of all these immigrants, in terms of national security. Now, they are not Trump fans, but they are very, very concerned about what's taking place at the border. And Kamala Harris going down there right now, I don't think we have enough time to talk about that, because I think, you know, she's receiving a lot of heat from both sides, from obviously from us, the Republicans, but also from people in our own party. And she might not be the best person to be down there at the border talking about immigration, since both her parents were both immigrants.
Yeah. Dennis, I want to bring you into this because we just heard Derek talk about El Paso. That was one of the areas I mentioned earlier where the border wall has worked because illegal crossings were down 80% there in that area.
Heather, the wall works. Okay, it's not that we're against immigrants. We just want to know who's coming and where they're coming from and what their intentions are, so long as they're for the good of America. One of the things I will tell you that about Governor Abbott taking on building the wall, he'll probably do it a lot cheaper than the federal government would do it. I want to say that it was $26 million a mile assumed under Trump, 46 under Biden if they ever get to it. I think that Governor Abbott will find a way to get this done more efficiently, more effectively, and quicker. They are there. They understand the significance of this. They also understand the criminal justice issues that are burdening that state with the influx of all these immigrants coming over illegally.
Yeah, Jesse Jane, at the time that President Trump left office, the wall was going up at an average rate of 2 miles per day. Now, should the state of Texas have to now go backwards and begin all over again, it's going to take a while.
Oh, absolutely. What the Biden administration has set us back months, if not a year, because renegotiating these contracts, just like President Trump said, these contractors now, their rates are going to go higher because they've had to pull out their equipment, they've had to pull out their supplies, and they have to start all over again. It's detrimental to hear that even President Trump pointed out, all you had to do was paint the wall. And you have now a wall that is subjected to environmental decay. Now, why would there be such negligence? We're looking at a current administration that clearly does not want to address this issue for a variety of reasons. We can speculate what those are. But ultimately, it's the American people, whether they are Trump fans or not, that are going to be impacted by this. This impacts our low-wage earners because those illegals can come in and get paid under the table at a lower wage than they can. We recently saw that in a chicken plant in the South, that they had hired illegals. And when they found out about it and they had to hire U.S. citizens, people that were at least here legally, maybe on a visa status, the wages go up but they're respectable wages, a living wage for everyone. So the Democrats who want to talk about a living wage, what they don't even understand is they are currently undermining the low-income families in this country because the illegals can often take those jobs, get paid under the table, and not pay payroll taxes on it.
Yeah.
And if they are paying taxes, they took somebody's Social Security number to do it.
Well, the mayor of McAllen, Texas, said hopefully with the former president there, bottom line, he needs attention to be brought to the table in terms of what they're dealing with. And he said McAllen, Texas specifically, they had about 500 people per day crossing the border illegally. Now they're up to over 1,000 a day, and they're simply overwhelmed. So they hope that at least the former president's trip there will bring attention to the very real problem they're dealing with. Thank you very much, panel. Stand by, though, because coming up, as we said, it's been a very busy day. Democrats' seeming obsession with the January 6th incident that happened at the Capitol. After failing to get a full-blown 9/11 style investigation, they're now trying another way to keep the story alive. And we have some breaking news on that point up next on American Agenda. Stay with us.